You are listening to Productivity Straight Talk with your host, Amber De La Garza. Amber is a sought-after productivity coach, trainer, speaker, and writer who gives entrepreneurs the straight talk on personal productivity. No BS, fluff, or overused jargon. Just actionable strategies to get results and succeed in business. And here is your host, Amber De La Garza, the productivity specialist.
Welcome, and thank you for listening to Productivity Straight Talk. Today's episode 197, Badass Business Systems, Exposing the Secret Behind Franchise Success Stories. If you're a business owner who wants to improve your time management and elevate your productivity so you can maximize profits, reduce stress, and make time for what matters most, then you're in the right place, and I'm so glad you've joined me. We're going to be jumping into the topic of badass business systems and what they can do for you and your business. We're going to do this while looking at some franchise success stories and what actually makes them so successful and how you can borrow those success stories into your service-based business as inspiration to improve your customer service, create more efficiency, train your team to deliver consistent results. There are so many benefits that we are going to uncover with the implementation of business systems in your service-based business. Before we jump in, I just want to share with you that if you have not grabbed my Take Back Your Time mini training, what are you waiting for? You can grab it for free by going to amberdelagarza.com/take back your time. In this quick, under 30-minute training, I am going to show you how to take back 30 minutes each and every day compounded. So if you've ever whispered the words, "I wish I had more time," then make sure you grab this mini training today. In your podcast app, tap the notes, click the link, and grab your free Take Back Your Time mini training, or head on over to amberdelagarza.com/take back your time. And now, let's get to the straight talk. I want to talk to you about business systems, and I want to talk to you about them in a way that you can completely understand and is relatable. And one of my favorite ways to do that is to actually take it outside of our own businesses or our own lives and draw from examples that are all around us. Because when we can do that, and then we're like, oh, I actually see how that has everything to do with what I'm doing over here, it actually makes it so much easier to wrap your mind around and connect the dots, because we're not in the middle of our own stories or experiences, or perhaps you're not in the weeds of your own business, right? The doing, the everyday hustle. So we are going to pause on looking at our own businesses for just a little bit as we take this journey through looking at the success stories and why franchises are so valuable and what is the real success recipe and secret behind great franchises. And the reason I want to talk to you about business systems today is also because inside my Leverage Lab experience, this month, we are talking all about business systems. And I am doing a live masterclass that's coming up quite soon about badass business systems, breaking it down into the most simplest way of taking action, knowing how to take action, answering the questions of where to start, where do I get help, what does a business system actually look like when it's created? And all of that is going to be found inside Leverage Lab. So if after today's podcast, you're like, oh my gosh, my business needs business systems like no other, and I want support, then I invite you to check out Leverage Lab by going to amberdelagarza.com/Leverage Lab. All right, so let's dive in. I first want you to get in your mind your favorite fast food restaurant. Now, even if you are the healthiest eater and you don't frequent fast food restaurants very often, I want you to think of an experience of when you have. And I want it to be a chain fast food restaurant to where either it's a chain and or a franchise. And this is really important. So for me, I'm thinking In-N-Out, but In-N-Out is only local to California, Nevada, and I believe a little bit of Arizona, if I'm not mistaken. So very regional. What is the fast food restaurant that you're thinking of? All right. Are you with me? Do you got it in your mind? Is it your favorite burger? Is it your favorite pizza joint? Maybe it's chicken fingers from somewhere like Cane's. What's your favorite place? Now I want you to ask yourself, what if I went to one location and it tasted a certain way and I had a certain experience? And then when I was on the other side of town or in a different town, I visited a different location and it tasted completely different. Not only did it taste different, but the experience of walking in, talking to the employees, the entire experience was different. Would that still be your favorite fast food restaurant? My guess is no. I want to pull this back. If you have a business and you're looking to franchise it, while the branding and the brand recognition is really important, the engine that creates that branding and brand recognition and customer loyalty, I would argue, is in fact business systems. Business systems are systems that stacked on top of each other actually create how the business operates. You may see in a particular franchise a business system on where they source the food. You're going to have a business system on how they package the food, how they ship the food, how fresh is it. You're going to see a business system on how the food is cooked, prepared, handed to you. You're also going to have a business system on how you're greeted at the restaurant window, at the drive-thru, or when you come to the checkout. They are going to have phrases that they say. They're going to have ways in which they ask, is there anything else with your order? Would you like to supersize that? Imagine just that experience of going from one location to the next, how much consistency there is. Now, this blows my mind. And if you think about it the way I am, I think it may blow your mind too. When we have our own team and we're like, how do we get everybody on the team on the same page? They have different experiences. They come from different backgrounds, different ages. There's so many differences in each of us as individuals. And then we're saying, how do I create a consistent experience for my customers or my clients? And yet, every fast food chain restaurant or franchise is able to provide consistent service time and time and time again. And in fact, so much so that in this example, if we go to In-N-Out and the restaurant gives a little extra shake to the fries, my husband automatically knows something broke in their system. Too much salt was on the fries, right? Now, what is the mind-blowing part of this? It's that no matter what restaurant chain franchise you go to, no matter who is serving you, no matter who's behind the counter or at the grill, you are getting the same exact experience. And imagine how much has to go exactly right consistently every time for you, the end user, to have that same experience. Let's back it all the way up. Let's say, for example, they source their food in a different place. Would you, the end user, know that? Absolutely. I remember when In-N-Out changed the ketchup brand from, I believe it was like Hunt's, right? Like Hunt's ketchup to their own brand. And I immediately knew. Like I actually took the packets and I was like, I think there's something wrong with this ketchup until I realized the packaging had changed and they had changed where they sourced their ketchup from. So let's go back to the way that it gets shipped. If the system changes or is broken in the way that it gets shipped to the restaurant, you are not going to experience as fresh of the food. Or perhaps they choose to freeze the patties instead of making them fresh all the time, never frozen. Would that change your experience and your taste and what the end user perceives as delicious? Absolutely. All right, now we get it to the restaurant. And we have a cook that's cooking it. And he's never been trained. There's no how-to manual. There's no this is how we do it. He just cooks it. And you get the burger and it tastes a certain way. And then you go back the next time and it tastes a different way. Would that affect the end user's experience? Absolutely. All right, I have another example. We have this most amazing Chinese restaurant by our house. And anytime I want to do takeout, it's Chinese food for our family. But we know what night not to order the Chinese food. And we had to figure that out by trial and error because I didn't have enough nerve to ask who was the cook in the kitchen. So through trial and error, we realized that there was a particular night of the week that I think their main cook was off and someone fills in, and inevitably their fried rice, and really almost all their dishes, but specifically their fried rice, tastes completely different. And so we avoid doing takeout from that Chinese restaurant on that night because we don't like that type of fried rice. We like the fried rice that their normal cook is based on my story of what's going on, because I'm like, most of the time it's great. It's only on certain days that it's not. So in my head, I'm like, okay, so we have two different cooks. It's not consistent. It has not got a process of you put this much of everything in there. It's each cook's preference on how they're cooking the fried rice. And so as the user, while we love the restaurant, I have tweaked my behavior in when I order the food based on what I know I can expect as amazing fried rice or subpar fried rice. All right, so let's just say the cook doesn't have a how to cook this. Do you think you will build up your brand and your customer loyalty if there was inconsistency in how the food was created? Absolutely not. And then lastly, I'm taking you through the whole journey, right? You get to the counter, and do you know what to expect when you're ordering your food? Or think about, how about this? How discombobbled are you when you go to your favorite fast food restaurant and they change the numbers on the combos, right? It's like your number one isn't your number one anymore, and your number two isn't your number two. Well, in In-N-Out, they have 3 options. You get a number 1, a number 2, or a number 3. That's it. Their menu's super simple. But if I were to ever go in and their number 1 was completely different, I would feel a bit uncomfortable. Like this is unusual. I was looking forward to this being easy. As the consumer, I was looking forward to getting exactly what I had expected to get based on all my other experiences of going to In-N-Out. Why does this matter? Well, what's working here? With businesses that have solid business systems, they are able to train their employees so effectively and so consistently, it produces consistent results for the customer. And when there's consistent results for the customer is going to come back. They're going to tell their friends about the place that they know is good because they have confidence that when their friend goes, it's going to be as good as when they went. How can you have such turnover in a fast food restaurant and yet still provide that level of customer service and experience? It's because they are not focused on having the exact right person with the exact right experience. They're leaning on the business systems that they know work, training the new employees on those business systems, and then holding them accountable to those systems. Let's take it all the way back. When they do an extra shake on the fries and my husband sends it back saying there's too much salt, and then 10 customers later, they send it back too much salt, the manager's going to know something's not right with the person doing the shake on the salt because everyone knows the same systems. And so when systems get broken by someone on your team or an employee, you can pinpoint it and fix it with efficiency as well. Mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing to me that as small business owners, we find it sometimes incredibly difficult to think about business systems. We think that we are so special that we just figure it out and that we're going to magically be able to give the best customer experience to our clients. We think that without business systems, we're just going to be able to work the most efficiently. That we think that without business systems, that we're going to have a clear plan of action on how to train our team and hold them accountable to certain metrics or outcomes. It's impossible without business systems. You owe it to your customers and your clients to create these business systems so that they have confidence in doing work with you, so that they have the most amazing experience. Because let's be honest, you can be incredibly talented at the thing that you provide, whether it's building a website or a graphic design, or you're an interior designer, or you're a realtor. You may be completely skilled. You may be an attorney who is absolutely skilled at getting the outcome that you want to get for your clients. But if what they remember is a customer experience that was subpar, things were falling through the cracks, they didn't have confidence in the fact that you were going to follow through, I guarantee it's affecting your revenue and your bottom line. I absolutely believe that it's affecting the amount of repeat business you get. I believe that it's affecting the amount of referrals that you get. All because, not because you're not skilled, not because you're not incredibly talented, not because you didn't serve them, but because that customer experience was so inconsistent, there's not confidence in what they're going to get next. And yet, your favorite fast food restaurant has it figured out. And the secret sauce, the secret recipe behind all of that is solid business systems. And you too can have solid business systems for the entire small business ecosystem. And inside my masterclass, Badass Business Systems, that masterclass is inside Leverage Lab. It is going to live there forever. And while I'm teaching it live, and I'd love for you to get in on it, that masterclass is there for you, where I'm going to teach you the small business ecosystem. And how do you create a system, a business system, from the time someone finds out about you and your business or your brand. They become a prospect. And then how do you determine if they're a lead? And from a lead, how do you convert them to a client? From a client, how do you onboard them? How do you serve them through the entire servicing process, whatever that looks like for your business or your industry? How do you offboard a client? How do you stay in touch with them? How do you get referrals from them? These are many systems stacked upon each other that create the entire operation of how your business can run. And as you bite off piece by piece by piece and build this out, you too are going to have the benefit of efficiency, consistent experiences with your clients. You're also going to be, in my opinion, and a lot of experience, improve your revenue by another thing. So it's not just referrals or repeat business, but how about conversions? If you have a process that every time someone reaches out to you about your services, you go through that same process and you have a follow-up plan, how much more likely are you to capture more clients that convert to clients? Because not everyone says yes when you talk to them the first time. So if they tell you maybe, what's that plan? How do you keep in touch with them until they say, yes, I want to work with you. I want your services. By having those systems, you are also going to improve your productivity. And here's how. Most likely, a lot of your time is actually wasted with what I call self-created fires. And self-created fires are fires that are created and they were absolutely preventable. And when you're running your business with business systems and you're working from a proactive place, not a reactive place, you're going to have less fires to put out. And when you have less fires to put out, when you're the business owner, you're enabling your team to handle things through the processes, and you stay in your lane, your most productive activities, growing the business, doing the things that only you can do. But it's a catch-22, because if you're over here putting out fire, and saying, and yet I don't have time to create business systems, I'm going to tell you, you do not have time not to prioritize business systems. Because by having business systems, again, just like our favorite franchise, you are going to be able to increase the customer service, increase efficiency, buy back time for yourself so that you can invest it in your high-value activities. This is an absolute necessity. So let's borrow some of these ahas and things that big companies have already figured out, borrow them and lay them on top of our small businesses and allow ourselves to work most effectively and efficiently and give that amazing customer experience that I know that you want for your clients. And the way to get started is to choose one system. That's it, one system in the process. Get that one nailed down, and then build the next one, and the next one, and the next one. I have loved having you listen to this episode of Productivity Straight Talk. And I sure hope you found today's episode to be incredibly insightful and bring a lot of ahas, connecting the dots. I believe that you've already known that business systems were important. But my goal for today's episode was to really bring that home, to inspire you to go take action, to prioritize that. Because those business systems are one of those things that it's like, well, if they don't get done, will anybody really know? Like, I know they're great to have, but I have a deadline coming up. I have a client that needs something. I have a to-do list that has immediate deadlines. I get it and I hear you, but this is your chance to say, I no longer want to do my business this way. I no longer want to be reactive. I no longer want to be the firefighter in my business by putting fires out all the time. I no longer want to be frustrated with onboarding an employee and training them. I no longer want to actually hide from my clients because I know that they're not happy with the customer service. You see, this is a long-term investment to extinguish all of those pain points in your business with taking the time to really prioritize creating business systems, implementing those business systems, and then holding your team accountable to the consistency of utilizing business systems. No change, no change. Without taking action, nothing will change for you or your business. So do not let this be another episode where you're like, yes, I hear you, Amber. Yes, I know. I'll just add that to my list. I want this to be a moment where you're saying no more. I am going to take action. Now, you, I believe, are completely capable of taking action and creating and implementing business systems. However, if you feel challenged, you don't know where to start. What is a business system? How do you actually structure a business system? How do you hold your team accountable to a business system? Where do you store business system? Who writes business systems? Who can help me create an efficiency business system? If those are the types of questions that are coming up for you as a roadblock to actually creating business systems for your business, then I invite you to check out Leverage Lab. Inside Leverage Lab, I have this masterclass, Badass Business Systems, along with many others that will help you improve your productivity and efficiency and grow your business. Not only is it masterclasses, but there's coaching. How do you actually implement the business system? Where are you stuck? Come to a coaching session and get coached around it. I want you to just check it out and see if it's a fit for the support that you need to take yourself and your business to the next level. So head on over to amberdelagarza.com/leverage lab. So that's my straight talk for today. Until next time, have a productive week.